This is a historic moment. It's a generational moment. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make investments in private sector job growth that will absolutely drive the borough's economy.
With the rezoning change, the face of Sunset Park will change along with it.
Rent is rising, and the rent is rising due to gentrification. Gentrification that's being accelerated by industry cities involvement in the neighborhood.
If New York is going to create 100,000 good jobs, city policymakers absolutely need to embrace the innovation economy and ensure that New York has the commercial spaces that the innovation economy firms need to launch and grow.
This is not innovation. What this is Industry City trying to make as much money as possible on our backs.
Land grabs, and short-sighted rezonings that we've seen from this administration and previous ones trumpet the needs of the people.
I grew up in Sunset Park. It didn't matter if you were Chinese or Mexican or Puerto Rican. We would play fight with each other over the fire hydrants in the summertime, and at Christmas time there would be like this block snowball fight that just happens out of nowhere.
I never really heard anything about Industry City until like recent years, like maybe 3 years ago. I feel like it implanted itself in the community.
Businesses that they're inviting in, it's not community businesses. I mean, there's articles out saying that Sunset Park is going to be the next Soho.
We come here to make it.
To look out over the landscape and transform it. We are the makers, and the box is empty.
This is where we fill it.
This is bigger than work.
This is a movement.
It's just been incredible what they've done with the space that's there. It looks really nice, but it's also very scary what they're advertising. Industry City's been very clear and upfront about wanting to rezone, so we knew that it was coming down the pipeline, and then we got notification about the work scope.
Good morning. I'm Andrew Kimball. I'm the CEO of Industry City. I'm delighted to be here, and thank you for the opportunity. So what are the proposed actions that we're looking for today? We're looking to create a zoning text amendment to establish the special Sunset Park Innovation District.
The Industry City site currently is zoned M3, very heavy industrial use. Industry City is looking to change that zoning to a less intense industrial use.
They want development faster, they want it bigger, adding another 1 million square feet of property, and they want to have leniency around their ability to bring more retail to the neighborhood.
The industrial manufacturing jobs are better paying jobs. To the critics who often say that industrial manufacturing is dead, it's not dead, it's changed. And moving across the river, or it's going upstate. And part of the reason for that is the fact that there's a lot of competition for the land where those businesses are located. Industrial is not as lucrative as commercial, which is not as lucrative as residential. We know that it's not the most profitable, but that doesn't change the fact that we need good paying jobs so that people can stay in the city.
Jamestown Properties, they're very well known as real estate investor developers of underutilized, assets such as, industrial spaces that they then renovate and rebrand as innovation centers. They recently sold Chelsea Market to Google. So that's what Jamestown Properties is known as. So I think Industry City has in mind a very specific type of tenant that they want in their complex. I mean, they spent $8 million on the Innovation Alley, basically to create this connecting walkway between 9 of their buildings that's all focused on shopping, on retail So it's about the experience of being at Industry City. It's about, feeling like you're hip and you're in this place that has been specifically curated to appeal to young, hip people. It is all about catering to a particular affluent consumer base.
Some of the things that have been very clear in their messaging is something called innovation economy. But even when we press them at the City Council and others who are using that term, they can't even define it for themselves.
There is this new innovation economy. It's a new way of looking at manufacturing, and it's really redefining it as the broad range of making a physical, a digital, and an engineered product.
A term like innovation economy itself is very squishy. What does it mean? And that's why I've been very fixated on Amazon. We know that Jamestown was interested in bringing part of that, at least, to Industry City. In other words, it's interested in a very large company that is bringing highly paid, white-collar jobs with it. So while that technically falls within the innovation economy, those are not jobs that are going to go to local people.
What we also need to be mindful of is the other two partners that purchased the 49.9% share with Jamestown Property, and that is Belvedere Real Estate Capital and Angelo Gordon and Company, which are transnational real estate investment companies that look for strategic real estate opportunities to invest in anticipation of a tremendous amount of profits. Bank of China lent Industry City over $500 million in a loan. And so when you're making that size of a loan to a neighborhood that is outside of a central business district, you're banking that that area is going to be able to increase its value and be a profitable investment for you. It's all about real estate. It really has nothing to do with manufacturing or jobs. It's just about developing real estate.
We already know that their mere presence is putting additional pressure on the residents that live here. We've got companies that their model is to buy these rent-stabilized apartments and make money off of them. They consider the rent-stabilized apartments underdeveloped assets, and if they can get the long-term tenant who's paying really low rent out, then they can make a lot more money. Industry City is directly causing this. Their mere presence here. This is the effect. This is the rippling effect into the community.
This is a rent-stabilized multifamily building in Sunset Park that is being listed by Terra CRG, a commercial realty group. And the marketing pitch for this rent-stabilized building is that the property is also ideally located for future ownership to capitalize on the large influx of tenants that will want housing on the park to be close to jobs created by Jamestown Properties' conversion of Bush Terminal into a high-tech office and retail business hub along the Sunset Park waterfront.
There's no doubt that there's a lot of money being spent on how to market the concept for Industry City's future. But I think what community needs to remind themselves is that we have our own definitions about progress.
Sunset Park has actually, over the years, been really sophisticated in pushing community-based visions for development. The community has participated in a number of different community-based planning processes, one being the 197A plan. In the 197A plan, it is made very clear that one of the priorities is to preserve and revitalize and expand the industrial and manufacturing job base along the waterfront. And there is even some specific mention to target those types of manufacturing uses that contribute to a clean energy future and advance goals around sustainability. It is a plan that is almost diametrically opposed to The plans and visions and proposals coming out of entities like Jamestown Properties at Industry City. Private entities are allowed to buy private property and use private financing to serve private aims. The difference here is that when you're trying to change the zoning, what you are basically doing is appealing to a public government to allow a rollback of certain rules that were put in place to serve public interests.
The process as a whole, the shorthand that people use is ULURP.
So in this process, all of these different players, this is where they actually get a proposal and they approve it, disprove it, or give some approval with modifications. And so the parts that are really important for residents and actual community members in the rooms are each of these stars, the public hearings.
The real burden of proof here doesn't lie with the city, it's going to lie with Industry City. They need to prove to us as a city, as a neighborhood, that they're addressing our needs, which means that they're going to have to understand them as well.
People on the table mentioned solar, they mentioned wind power, there's a windmill, there's a turbine that's on the waterfront. Recycling is another possibility on the waterfront.
The city has to listen to the neighborhood. In terms of how much they have to listen is really dependent upon how much the neighborhood organizes and pushes to make sure that the city stays at the table.
We need to get active. People think this is change on like a regular basis. Like, oh, New York City is getting expensive. So yes, my rent is a little bit more. And maybe my landlord is, harassing me because this is just how life is. And it doesn't have to be how life is.
I see this change affecting not just me, but my family and my neighbors.
We know that if we don't do anything, what is proposed in the proposal will go through unopposed, and it'll be quick, done, and the outcome is already decided.
I think the fight has to be led from the people of color, the long-term tenants that were here. But to those people that want to keep Sunset Park diverse the way that it is, I say welcome. We're gonna need everyone's help to fight this.